Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into a massive, industry-shifting challenge that's hitting the AEC data center market right now. Look, demand is absolutely exploding. We're seeing unprecedented growth in data center construction, and with it, a literal surge in demand for Division 27 and 28 work. You know, your ICT and electronics safety and security engineering. But here's the catch. There is a critical shortage of credentialed designers, like RCDDs and PSPs, to actually do all this work. So today, we're looking at a real game changer, an AI agent stack designed to act as a force multiplier for these highly specialized engineering teams.
If you're in the C-suite or leading an engineering team, this explainer is absolutely for you. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the engineering bottleneck, move to a purpose-built AI solution, see 15 agents in action, break down the force multiplier economics, touch on data security, and wrap up with a 90-day pilot. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The engineering bottleneck.
So, data center capacity just added 4.7 gigawatts in a single year. That's driving a massive 15 to 20% annual growth in scope. But here's the core thesis from our source material, and it's a big one. The bottleneck is documentation, not design. Let that sink in for a second. When we see a shortage of output, we naturally assume, well, a shortage of design talent. But the reality? Your credentialed designers are just buried. They're drowning under specifications, submittal reviews, RFIs, and observation reports.
And here is the hard truth. A typical senior RCDD spends up to 60% of their billable hours devoured by spec writing, submittals, and RFIs. 60%. These are not the high-level engineering judgments they were trained to make, right? It's essentially an administrative drain that's eating up the exact hours your firm desperately needs to scale.
And you really can't just hire your way out of this. Trying to recruit a senior RCDD or PSP right now, that takes anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And once you finally find them, each senior hire carries a massive loaded annual cost of up to $250,000. On top of that, it takes them another 18 to 24 months just to reach full productivity while they learn your firm's standards. So yeah, recruiting is a painfully slow and expensive band-aid for this problem.
Section 2. A purpose-built AI solution.
Now, you might be wondering about AI, but there is a massive difference between off-the-shelf tools and a specialized solution. Generic tools like ChatGPT or Copilot, they start every single conversation completely cold. They don't know your firm's master templates, and honestly, worse than that, they can actually hallucinate building codes. But this purpose-built stack, it's safely anchored right in your firm's own master specifications and controlling codes, like NFPA, BICSI, and UL. Basically, if it doesn't know the code, it completely refuses to bluff.
The absolutely crucial point here is what we call opinionated guardrails. For leadership, reassurance is key, and this system has compliance literally hardwired into it. It automatically enforces technical and legal prohibitions. It's not going to allow outdated tech like Wiegand readers or 125 kilohertz proximity credentials, and it totally blocks absolutely all federally banned NDAA technology. It won't specify them, and there is no way it will approve them in a submittal review.
Section 3. 15 agents in action.
Okay, the metrics here are just stunning. We are looking at 70 to 80% time reductions during the design phase. A complete Part 1, 2, and 3 specification section that used to take up to 16 agonizing hours, the SpecGen agent cuts that down to just 2 to 4 hours. Or how about a code lookup that used to take an hour? Now it takes 90 seconds. I mean, this is a massive, massive acceleration of output.
Let's walk through what a transformed workday actually looks like. At 8:30 a.m., field observation reports take 25 minutes instead of 90. By 9:30, complex RFI responses take 10 minutes instead of 45. By the time they run the submittal reviewer at 1 p.m., they have accomplished days' worth of documentation in just a few hours. So by 3 p.m., they've completely reclaimed their afternoon for pure, high-value engineering judgment, which, let's be real, is exactly what they were hired for in the first place.
Section 4. Force-Multiplier economics.
If you're a CFO listening to this, pay close attention to this capacity expansion case. When your engineers are finally freed from that documentation drain we talked about, one senior RCDD can now effectively produce 2 to 3 times the deliverable output. So for a 25-engineer firm, deploying this stack effectively adds the documentation throughput of 6 to 20 new designers. And the best part? You get all that throughput without paying a single recruiter fee or waiting 12 months to actually hire them. To put that into perspective, reclaiming 500 to 1,000 hours per year at typical billable rates creates a value of $100,000 to $300,000 per senior engineer, every single year. That right there immediately establishes the incredibly high financial stakes of adopting this technology.
Which brings us to the ultimate ROI impact. Because these financial returns are so high, the payback period for deploying this stack is a blistering 4 to 8 months. The business case basically closes itself within the exact same calendar year you deploy it. It's a no-brainer.
But wait, the economics get even better when we look at the unbudgeted returns. Because the AI drafts incredibly well-defined, project-specific, and code-anchored specifications, you significantly reduce downstream friction. That means fewer RFIs from confused contractors, practically eliminated change orders, and heavily reduced legal exposure because the language is perfectly defensible.
Section 5. Architecture and Data Security. Now we know the C-suite's most critical objection will be about IP protection and data sovereignty. And honestly, this is exactly why the system is so different from commercial SaaS AI tools. It offers highly flexible deployment topologies. If you serve federal, defense, or healthcare clients, your project data never has to leave your corporate perimeter. Whether you need fully on-premise, a hybrid cloud model, or even fully air-gapped deployments for classified spaces, the system conforms to your security posture. Federal CUI, defense ITAR, or healthcare HIPAA, it's all fully supported and secured.
Section 6, the 90-day pilot.
Adopting this stack isn't about just flipping a switch overnight. It's framed as a highly measured, low-risk pilot program. You run this with maybe 5 to 10 engineers over 90 days, and you grade it on clear, evidence-based success criteria. Step 1, can it prove a 50% or better time reduction on documentation? Step 2, does the output actually meet an 80% or higher acceptance rate during credentialed review? And Step 3, are there zero compliance regressions, meaning absolutely no banned text slips through? If the data proves it works, then you roll it out fully.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. Are you ready to give your engineers their design hours back? Look, the demand for Division 27 and 28 work isn't slowing down anytime soon, and you really can't fight a losing recruiting battle forever. It might just be time to stop treating documentation as a necessary evil and start multiplying the incredible engineering talent you already have. Thanks for exploring this with me today, and I'll leave you to think on that.